Okay, guys, yeah. I don't know where you guys live at, but here it's pretty much winter. Like, the weather is becoming absolutely horrendous. And I didn't even want to work out today because of that. Like, it was very derailing, but we're gonna get the job done regardless. Regardless. But yeah, also, I had not eaten pretty much anything the previous day before this because yeah, I was kind of hungover, so like I couldn't eat nothing. And yeah, so I'm running on like pretty much almost no calories apart from the few carbs I ate like before this. But yeah, it significantly affected the workout. But yeah, um on this yeah, sorry guys. I couldn't really train as many sets today because yeah, running on lower calories, and I think I was also getting rid of the whatever alcohol was remaining in my system by sweating it out. Like guys, people actually underestimate how long these substances stay in your system. It's a lot longer than you think. But I think I've talked enough about that in the other video that I just posted. Or I will post. I'm doing pike push-ups, and I decided, you know what, it's trying to make these harder because they were getting a bit too easy. So I'm emphasizing more on the eccentric part of the movement, which is me lowering myself. I'm doing it slower, more controlled, and exploding back once I reach the bottom. And guys, this made it significantly harder. Like, I couldn't do as many reps as I usually do, like for pike push ups. And I've been doing pike push ups for a while, so I didn't expect that it would make it this much harder. But I think I'm going to be doing them like this from now on, it felt really good. And at the same time, having more intentional sets feels better than just pumping out questionable amounts of volume. It just feels better. I don't know. Then of course we're doing the weighted. I'm just gonna call these Australian pull-ups. I might be wrong. I might be retarded, but yeah, is that allowed on YouTube? Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, I just did. I wasn't even counting the reps in this session. I was more just like going with the flow. I think on average of like 8 reps or so. I don't know. You guys can count if you feel like, but I don't know. Not really stressed too much about that. So if you haven't noticed by now, like there's days when I do pull ups and when I just do like the Australian pull ups, which is basically just like rows. I think the best thing to compare it to would be rows, or the easiest thing to compare it to. And then I have like, so I train, if I'm training horizontal movements for push, I will do vertical pull. If I'm training horizontal pull, I'll train vertical push. Well, obviously, I can't do handstand push ups, so this is the closest thing to vertical pushing that I can do for now, which just reminded me I have not been practicing my wall handstands, which, yes, I said that was going to be the objective of the first skill that I'm trying to learn is the handstand. Because yeah, the handstand is just a goated thing, and I want to learn it and get really good at getting used to being in that position because it is going to translate into me being able to do flips. Yes, guys, I'm about to become a ninja. So yeah, just the thing is though, like it's training for calisthenics has been very eye opening because this is the first time like in the last 5 years of me training that I've really been intentional with my routine because it's so easy to get caught up in just like chasing the pump and just doing exercises that, I mean, they feel good, but what's the purpose of doing them? It's sort of just like how right now you could argue how like people saying hybrid is the best way to train, or like doing plyometrics and like weights and all that. But the thing is, if you're not intentional, like with what you're training, I don't think being hybrid, because the thing is, hybrid training just makes you average at everything. Like, you're no better than, like, you don't lift heavier than the lifters, and you sure as hell don't run anywhere near as fast or as efficiently as the people who focus mostly on running. So that's what I'm saying. Like, honestly speaking, I think the best approach to hybrid training, if you really want to do that, is just having like periods where you focus on one thing and then another period where you focus on another. So like, if you're focusing on running, like just run for like your 8 weeks, and then switch to lifting for another 8 weeks, and then you know what I'm saying. Like, don't, this whole thing of trying to squeeze in all of that stuff into one functional workout, as people want to call it, like even the plyometrics and all that. Like, guys, you can only get good at one thing at a time. If I was to lie to myself that, okay, yeah, I'm going to try and train calisthenics and I'm going to do a bit of like bodybuilding at the same time, I would just be like, I wouldn't even be able to recover from all that. I don't know how deep into like the fitness social media you guys have been, but there was this guy called Jeremiah Jones Fitness, the guy who like eats a bunch of like organic stuff, like, eats garlic and like pineapple peel. I've seen him like eat some crazy stuff, but okay, it's not crazy stuff, but it's just like, yeah, bruh, I don't know if I would handle eating like that. But yeah, but this guy would do like maybe like a 10K run and then go straight to the gym and like just start repping out the weights. And I was looking at that and I'm like, bro, there's no way you're training anything other than endurance when you train that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just, it's like, actually a very good example of that is like how guys train in the military. There's this more of like training for endurance, not for performance. There's a difference, guys. Like, when you're training like for performance, you are very intentional with your training. Like, there's no way I'm gonna go from a 10K run into like benching and like squat, bench, deadlift. Like, I can't be a strength athlete or want to like work on my strength, and then I'm still giving an equal amount or maybe even more effort to like cardio. You see, it just doesn't make sense. And it's gonna take you way longer to progress that way. And you just end up being average at both of those things you're trying to do. And then what happens? No progress. And then you fall off because you get bored and it's no longer feels rewarding because you're not seeing results, because you weren't focusing on what needed to be focused on. So you start getting frustrated and it just becomes harder for you to find the motivation, to work out. And this doesn't only apply to like fitness. This applies to everything, bro. Like, let's say you're trying to learn how to do music production. Like, there's no way you can be trying to do that and at the same time you're like, yo, okay, I'm gonna spend time also doing game design. Like, you can learn both of those things, yes, but they need their own time. They need their own, because that's a discipline that you're trying to learn. You're not just like going into it as a casual, I'm assuming. If you have any long-term goals, fitness-wise or even like creative-wise, anything, like, you're gonna have to sacrifice some things, And that's not to say that like you shouldn't like be running or switching up your training here and there, but the main goal stands to be the same. Are you trying to train to attain a handstand? Then you have to be intentional with your training such that it's going to facilitate you attaining the handstand. Because when you start distracting yourself with all these other methods of training and like, you end up doing so much junk volume. Like, I think this is like the sixth or seventh time. Yeah, my bad. That I've mentioned the overtraining thing. Like, Guys, so many of you would just benefit from just chilling out, keeping it simple, and just being consistent with that simplicity. You benefit so much more than just like. Actually, I saw a video the other day from Tristan Lee, if you know who that is. If you've been like following the fitness space for some time, I'm sure you know who that is. And he just completely just got burnt out training like the way he used to train. I think you guys should go watch that video. It pretty much explains the same things I'm saying here, but for the sake of longevity, guys, you just gotta keep it simple and you have to integrate it into your life such that it becomes like a lifestyle. It becomes part of, something that you can maintain easily. But then when you keep on like jumping from place to place, it just makes it impossible for you to consistently progress. So yeah, guys. Also, whenever you feel like you don't want to work out, fucking work out. It's more a pain in the ass to start from scratch than to just keep it pushing. Peace.